Thank you for joining us. We'll get started in just a few minutes. We still have people filing into the room, so we'll just get started in a few minutes. Bear with us a moment. Thank you for being here with us today. A few housekeeping notes before we get started. If you experience issues with your audio, please check your Zoom and computer audio settings. Exiting and re-entering the Zoom link can also resolve issues. We'll address as many questions as possible during a Q&A session at the end of the program. Please submit your questions through the Q&A function in Zoom. Now I'll turn it over to CFP Board CEO Kevin Keller.
Thank you so much, and thank you all for joining us here today. Here live at our board meeting are two distinguished CFP professionals. Matt Boersen, CFP and a CFA charter holder, is chair of the board of directors. And Liz Miller, CFP, also a CFA charter holder, is CFP board's chair-elect. It's an exciting time to be here with you, and we have a lot to talk about. We're going to talk about a number of things during our time together. We'll introduce our new board members. We'll bring together new tools and research for planners. There will be an update of our Competency Standards Commission and their review of the requirements for CFP certification. We'll talk about the new CFP Board Connections Conference and our student-focused digital ad campaign. We'll share the latest stats from our campaign to raise public awareness about the value of financial planning and CFP certification. And most importantly, and I think the best part of our webinar is that we'll leave time to answer your questions and have some discussion at the end. So let's jump right in. In July, we announced Terry Colson, CFP, as our 2025 chair-elect of the board of directors. She'll be chair-elect next year and then serve as chair of the board in 2026. We also have two new directors joining the board in 2025. Liz, you were the chair of the nominating committee. Why don't I turn it over to you for more details on our new board members?
Thank you, Kevin. I'm happy to be here today to share the work we're doing to support CFP professionals, encourage advisors to pursue certification, and advance the profession. I've been on the board of directors since 2020. And before I share the news about our new directors, I'd just like to say I was extremely impressed with the caliber of the candidates. Early this year, the nominating committee conducted a detailed gap analysis that helped identify the recruitment priorities for the class of 2027. There were two distinct priorities. One, a technology professional with a deep understanding of current and emerging trends affecting the financial advice ecosystem and society. And two, an association CEO, preferably an executive focused on certification, who will serve as a public member. This year, the nominating committee considered 41 candidates. CFP Board's new board directors are Deborah Ben Avram, CAE, and Rose Palazzo. Deborah Ben Avram is a seasoned, highly successful association CEO. She has cultivated extensive experience in credentialing and accreditation, and she has decades of volunteer board leadership experience. Deborah is a public member for us, and this is important for a few reasons. CFP Board works for the benefit of the public. and our public members assure that the public's perspective is represented and respected at our board. The public member search process is also important to the CFP certification program's accreditation. Since 1995, CFP Board has been accredited by the National Commission for Certifying Agencies, the NCCA. NCCA accreditation recognizes CFP certification as valid, reliable, and legally defensible. Rose Palazzo is also joining our board of directors in 2025. Rose has more than 20 years experience as a financial services executive. She has a career-long connection to wealth tech and financial planning with a deep understanding of the perspectives of practitioners and consumers. Throughout her career, Rose has built tools and capabilities for financial advisors to help their clients achieve their goals. She was a key architect of Morgan Stanley's proprietary goals-based wealth management platform and helped design custom features for Money Guide.
You know, Liz, we really want to welcome Rose and Deborah to the board of directors. Their 3-year term will begin on January 1st of 2025 and then end on December 31st, 2027. And the appointments mark a historic moment. For the first time in our history, our board of directors will be a majority female. Now, on December 31st, 2024, the terms of our current board chair, Matt Boersen, and board directors Aneri Jambasaria, Rick Sherlock, and Nancy Smith will expire. On January 1, Liz will take the mantle as CFP board chair, and Terry Carlson, CFP, is our 2025 chair-elect. I'd like to take a moment to congratulate Liz and Terry for their recent recognition by Investment News as Women to Watch. And what a great event they had in New York. What did it was a great event, Liz, right?
It was a wonderful evening, very impressive group of people, and we were both so proud to be excellence awardees that evening.
There were a number of CFP professionals recognized that night. I'd also like to offer our gratitude to Matt's engagement, his passion for the profession, and vision for the future have played an important role in all of the progress that we're making to enhance the value of CFP certification. We appreciate how much you've given to the board.
Thanks, Kevin. I appreciate that. It's been a privilege to serve along so many great leaders here at CFP Board. It's truly been an honor. And I'm proud of what we're accomplishing for the public as well as what we're accomplishing for the profession. At the board level, we focus on advancing CFP Board's mission to credential competent and ethical financial planners, to uphold CFP certification as the recognized standard, and to advance the financial planning profession. In service to that mission, we also develop resources to support CFP professionals and demonstrate the value of CFP certification. And one of those resources we just released in September, which was our updated 2024 compensation research. Our research team collected and analyzed data from more than 1,400 CFP professionals, as well as financial planners who do not hold the CFP certification. This study compares things like salaries, benefits, and job satisfaction of CFP professionals compared with other financial planners. The headline is that CFP professionals earn 10% more than other financial planners and experience high levels of satisfaction. Median total compensation for all financial planners was $192,000. And of course, things like supervisory roles and the employer's business channel also play into effect when we talk about compensation as well. The research covers pay as well as financial benefits. It also highlights the lifestyle benefits CFP professionals enjoy, things like remote work and unlimited PTO. The findings really underscore the benefits of a career in financial planning, and in particular, a career in financial planning with the CFP certification. The report is available at cfp.net/salary. And the QR code on your screen will also take you directly to the page to access it. CFP professionals also have access to a special version of the compensation study that has more detailed data and allows you to segment a little bit more specifically. Kevin will share some of our other work to advance the profession as well as support CFP professionals.
Thanks, Matt. CFP Board is leading the first peer-reviewed academic study to track and report on the actual impact of holistic financial planning on clients. Most of us know about Vanguard's Alpha survey, and then there's the Morningstar Gamma survey. And this will be the Financial Planning Delta survey. We're looking at the difference or the delta between the outcomes and the financial well-being of Americans who work with a CFP professional versus other non-certified planners and do-it-yourselfers. The research follows and measures financial conditions and financial well-being over at least 10 years, and we're only in year 1. The team conducting the study includes some of the most well-respected researchers in the field. Stu Heckman, PhD and CFP from Texas Tech University, is joined by Emily Kochel, PhD from eMoney Advisors, Sonia Luder, PhD and CFP from Texas Tech as well, and Michael Collins, PhD from the University of Wisconsin at Madison. The researchers conducted 3 pilot studies in 2023 and 2024 that informed the creation of the final survey instrument and the key measures. The research team is analyzing the 2024 inaugural survey data. The preliminary analysis finds some pretty interesting positive outcomes among households that work with a CFP professional. We'll have more to share about the results of our survey in early 2025. You can learn more about the study at cfp.net/client impact. As the professional organization that sets, administers, and upholds standards for CFP certification, CFP Board is obligated to ensure that the certification requirements for CFP certification remain valid, reliable, and legally defensible for the benefit of the public. Last year, CFP Board convened a commission to conduct our first ever comprehensive review of our competency standards. Our aim is to be responsive to the current trends in the financial planning profession and certifying body best practices. The commission was charged with validating current requirements and/or recommending changes for improvement. The commission reviewed best practices in testing and certification. They solicited input from CFP professionals as well as those who are just candidates for CFP certification. They also consulted with representatives who oversee well-regarded designations for the CFA Institute and the Society for Human Resource Management, among others. Last month, the commission released its recommendations to our board of directors, and there will likely be public comment period targeted sometime in the coming months. At the end of September, CFP Board hosted our first ever, the inaugural, if you will, Connections Conference in Washington, D.C. This event is the first of its kind, bringing together all segments of the financial planning profession. The Connections Conference continues the traditions and includes the best features of our renowned Diversity Summit, the Academic Research Colloquium, the Firm Summit, and the Registered Program Conference. More than 700 practitioners, firm executives, registered program directors, academics, and more than 130 students came together for 2.5 days of presentations, discussions on best practices, trends, and innovations in the field. Let's take a look at our recap video.
We're bringing together all the various important components of the financial advice ecosystem. So we've got students, we've got firms, we've got the academic folks who are putting together the building blocks for the profession. So it's the first time we've put it all together into one conference.
Coming to a conference like this really helps because you get to talk to other people and you get to hear how they're doing things, why they're doing things, what they're thinking about, the obstacles that they're going through, and just in getting to connect with others, hear their experiences, and then hear many times their solutions to the problems. It can have a real big impact, and it's something I'm looking forward to taking back to my firm.
A lot of times there's a lot of entrepreneurial opportunities in this career. So for those people who have started firms like I have, there's so many different people who are important to help your clients, and conferences like these truly help you do that. I'm new to this world. I am actually a career changer. So coming here, just meeting all these different people has just been exciting. What I've learned these last 2 days, this is a relationship-based business. You just have to build those relationships. And coming here, you're just learning so much from everyone.
My favorite part about this conference so far has been the talk about AI. I have learned a little bit more about how I can use the tools in my practice.
I think it's really exciting to be able to have these different parts of the financial planning ecosystem all in one place. The academics, the program directors, the students, the practitioners, all here together, mix and mingle and make connections. So I love the name of the conference too for that.
What I'm most excited for is directly linking the knowledge at the CFP Board conference to my work right now as a financial planning intern. The more people I meet, the more companies I learn about, the better I'm going to do in my practice, the better I'll be able to serve a client.
I've been in this business for 42 years, and I'm a better planner because I come to conferences like this. The best of the best are here, and so why not hang out with and learn from the best of the best?
This is CFP Board's first Connections Conference. Next year we'll be in Chicago in early October. We're going to be making opportunities for even more connections in 2025.
Very well. We hope to see you next year in Chicago. That's in October. For updates, visit our website, cfp.net/connections25. Now, a topic that has been in the news, and I even see a couple questions popping up, so we want to address that. That is our Future CFP Pro campaign. Some CFP professionals have expressed concerns about our ads, and I'd like to share some background and context. And I'll talk about how your feedback has helped us strengthen the campaign. The digital campaign is a crucial part of our broader workforce initiative focused on expanding the talent pipeline. It is not part of our consumer public awareness campaign. Its aim is to encourage college and college-bound high school students to take the first step to explore a career in financial planning. You know, social media is a really crowded space, so the ads were designed to break through to that specific audience in a bold way. The messaging is grounded in data. We know that our Gen Z target audience seeks good pay in a meaningful profession that offers work-life balance. The videos introduced a series of fantasy jobs. Since these fantasy jobs don't exist, the ads highlight the unique and compelling benefits of a career in financial planning. Let's look at one of the videos that tells the story.
Shockingly, there's no career called Chief Self-Care Officer. Until then, check out financial planning. The earning potential provides the means to take care of yourself and others. Financial planning, quite possibly the perfect job.
So we recognize that the static ads missed the mark in providing the context that financial planning is the perfect job. And we're taking feedback from CFP professionals very seriously. We've updated the imagery and language of the static ads. The refreshed ads include context that better captures the essence of being a CFP professional. We've also refined our targeting so that the ads are more likely to reach high school and college students. This campaign is a journey that will evolve as we continue to gather data. However, our goals are very straightforward. One, to raise awareness of financial planning as a rewarding and impactful career. And secondly, to increase enrollments in baccalaureate CFP Board registered programs. While we're just a few weeks in, we've already seen hundreds of students engage with the ads, request more information about financial planning career paths, and receive CFP Board's Guide to Careers in Financial Planning. There are several other ads in the quite possibly the perfect job campaign. You can view all of the ads and learn more about the campaign at cfp.net/perfectjob. The QR code on your screen will also take you there.
Kevin mentioned that the quite possibly the perfect job digital campaign is part of a broader workforce initiative. We've got a couple other things going on that are a part of that. First, CFP Board is also partnering with a virtual training program for aspiring financial planners called the Externship. Industry experts deliver the program curriculum, which covers essential aspects of financial planning. This fall, we're also working with faculty at CFP Board registered programs to host events on campuses. And we've launched a new Career Studios program. The Career Studios are live virtual events for people who are interested in financial planning careers. The events connect attendees with CFP professionals who joined the financial planning profession after they had worked in other fields. The CFP pros share their real experiences and advice on coming into the field and finding the best job fit. Liz, why don't you share some details about some of the other points?
Thanks, Matt. As Matt mentioned, drawing more young people to financial planning is critical to our profession's future. It's equally critical for us to address the increasing demands of women who come to our profession. We need more women to pursue careers in financial planning and support them in achieving CFP certification. In 2023, CFP Board welcomed nearly 1,700 women into our community as CFP professionals. That's the highest number of women ever in a single year. Last year, women represented nearly 30% of new CFP certificates. But women still comprise less than 24% of the more than 100,000 CFP professionals in the US. So while we are making progress, there is still much work to do. Women in the US control over 10 trillion in wealth, and that number is projected to grow to 30 trillion by 2030. More than 70% of widows we know fire their husband's financial advisor within 1 year of his passing. And women, particularly those in their 40s and younger, have a stated preference for working with women financial advisors or having at least one on the advisory team. So we are hearing clearly that our talent pipeline needs a growing number of women. Increasing the number of women in financial planning is not just the right thing to do, it has become a business imperative. Next year, CFP Board will launch a new initiative focused on accelerating the growth, influence, and leadership of women in financial planning. We're developing an initiative around 4 key pillars: research, best practices and resource development, partnerships, and thought leadership. We will host events for women to build their networks and support one another to enter, succeed, and advance in the financial planning profession. We're also spending a lot of time thinking and talking, like everybody else, about artificial intelligence. It's pretty remarkable to think that it's only been 2 years since OpenAI released an early demo of ChatGPT. Its power and potential are quickly becoming clear. As with all new technology, there are opportunities and clearly challenges. In 2025, we plan to convene a specialized group to examine the impact of AI on the financial planning profession. The group will consider multiple future scenarios, provide strategic insights, and help us develop recommendations. With these exciting new initiatives, I'll turn it back to you, Kevin, for an update on the public awareness campaign.
So Liz, as I mentioned, the student-focused, the quite possibly the perfect job campaign that people have been talking about the last couple of months is not a part of our B2C or business to consumer public awareness campaign. So I'll also share some details about our consumer-focused campaign, which we call It's Gotta Be a CFP. Raising awareness of the value of CFP certification with consumers is a critical strategic priority for us at CFP Board. 13 years ago, we took the first step, a leap of faith, if you will, and launched the first public awareness campaign. Now, before that campaign began, unaided awareness of CFP certification was 17%. That means that only 17% of your most relevant prospects could bring to mind the CFP certification without being prompted. So there was a clear need to generate awareness for the profession among consumers. And certificants overwhelmingly supported the bold campaign to raise awareness. In 2023, we launched the 4th edition or 4th version of the public awareness campaign, the It's Gotta Be a CFP. And it's been our most successful campaign to date. We launched new commercials this March, which will play for you after I share some details about the campaign. The current campaign target audience are individuals 35 to 64. They're educated, employed, or recently retired with a minimum household income of $125,000 and investable assets of $100,000 to $1 million. That's largely what the industry refers to as the mass affluent. Beyond that, though, they have a mindset that makes them open to working with a financial advisor. In 2024, total awareness of CFP certification reached an all-time high of 91%. I mentioned that unaided awareness was 17% before we launched the first campaign back in 2011. Unaided awareness is now 44%, which is the highest number that we've ever tracked. Cable and streaming television continue to make up the highest percentage of our media mix to maximize the reach and frequency. We had some exciting sponsorship opportunities this year, including the NFL Draft, Major League Baseball Network, CNN's Before the Bell programming, and Washington Week on PBS. The second highest percentage of our mix was in digital placements. We had new integrations with premium partners like the Associated Press and Forbes. Audio included streaming radio placements across Pandora, SiriusXM, and a new partner this year, Spotify. This year we had a wide variety of media partners. We know the core media habits of our target audience. They are significant consumers of news, sports, lifestyle, and financial programming. Last year's campaign showed us that 30% of our target audience tunes into sports programming. So we've added 10% more sports programming into this year's campaign. Since this is the second year of the campaign, It's Gotta Be a CFP campaign, we'll play both commercials here today. Here's the 2023 ad.
Double check that. That's pretty good. Yeesh. Not crying, are you? Let's tighten that.
Wait, what was that?
What? No, don't worry about that. Here we go.
Asking the right question can greatly impact your future,
Are you qualified to do this?
What?
especially when it comes to your finances.
Do you have a question?
Are you a certified financial planner?
Yes, I'm a CFP professional.
CFP professionals are committed to acting in your best interest. That's why it's gotta be a CFP. Find your CFP professional at letsmakeaplan.org.
And then here's our 2024 commercial, which we call Surgery.
Hey there, Brenda.
It's Carol.
Exactly. So which leg are we operating on?
You mean arm?
It's all connected.
Asking the right question can greatly impact your future,
Are you sure you're an orthopedist?
Actually, I'm a Sagittarius.
especially when it comes to your finances.
Do you have a question? Are you a certified financial planner? Yes, I'm a CFP professional.
CFP professionals are committed to acting in your best interest. That's why it's gotta be a CFP. Find your CFP professional at letsmakeaplan.org.
So what do you think? Surgery or the bungee ad? You know, I think when we're out on the road and we do this live and we can see folks, Matt, what do we usually hear?
Seems to be surgery's the winner. Probably 80% seem to like surgery and maybe about 20% bungee. I'm torn. I'm about 50-50.
I'm a bungee fan.
You're a bungee fan. I like both of them are really interesting. We like the campaign. We're looking at some new creative content for future years. So I'm really excited. You know, we've got a couple questions. I'm going to go, Matt, to this question that Stephen asked, but we had a couple other questions around the Competency Commission. So we've been hearing a lot of questions about the degree requirement. We had one here. We might, maybe Kim says maybe we should consider relaxing the coursework requirement. There's no such coursework requirement for CPA or CFA. I think CPA has 150 hours. In fact, I just spoke with my good friend Sue Coffey on Monday, the CEO for Public Accounting of AICPA, and different states are looking at that. But maybe just a little bit more on the Competency Commission and what we'll be doing at the board meeting here today.
Yeah, sure, Kevin. So as Kevin said, in January of 23, CFP Board established a Competency Standards Commission, which is reviewing the experience, exam, and education requirements, which they're focusing on both the initial certification, but also continuing education and the ongoing piece as well. This has really been our first comprehensive review of the competency standards. So the first time that we've looked at everything all at once. Obviously, the things that are top of mind are the value and relevancy that CFP certification communicates to those who pursue it, but also the benefit of CFP certification to the members of the public as well. So in 2023 and in 2024 year to date, the commission evaluated each of the competencies, and last month, the commission released its recommendations to the board of directors. During our meeting this week, actually starting tomorrow, the board's going to review and discuss those recommendations. As Kevin hinted, there'll be a public comment period within the next couple of months here coming out. And from a board standpoint, we're looking at those recommendations, looking how they fit, making sure that it retains the value of CFP certification, then there'll be a public comment period. My encouragement, and Kevin and I have shared this several times as we've been out on the road in the last month, is when we release that public comment period, please participate. We take your feedback very seriously. It holds heavy weight. And there's going to be different opinions on a number of these topics, and we want to hear your opinion, how you think about it, and the board will take that very, very seriously and play a big piece into what goes forward as we get into 2025.
You know, here's another similar on the same track, Matt. Brandon writes, can you provide an update on alternative pathways to CFP certification? Again, that, you know, making the point that a 4-year bachelor's degree, you know, versus somebody who has years of decades. So, I mean, that is the question that the board will wrestle with.
And that's absolutely one of the things that was on the docket for the Competency Commission to look at. And one of the things that we'll be talking about here in the coming days.
Great. Next question is, Liz, I'll give this one to you from Adianes. I would like to hear recommendations on where to go for coursework, for the educational coursework for CFP certification.
Well, first, congratulations. We want to see you pursuing and become the next CFP certificant. I start by encouraging you to visit cfp.net/education. There you're going to explore programs that suit your lifestyle and learning style, whether it's a live classroom program, online with an instructor, or an online self-study. Once you're done with the education, though, you're probably going to want to look at an exam prep. We can't endorse, or we don't endorse any specific exam prep materials or program, but you can find information about the various exam review courses on our website at cfp.net/review course. And then finally, we strongly encourage you to take advantage of the practice exam that we offer. This will give you feedback along the way so you can pinpoint your strengths and areas to focus on developing ahead of your exam.
Thank you for that, Liz. Jake writes, what's the difference between total awareness and unaided awareness? Good question. That's back to our public awareness campaign. When we first conceived of the idea of a public awareness campaign, we went on the road. One of the questions we got time after time, how are we going to measure effectiveness of the campaign? Well, it's a public awareness campaign. So we engage an independent brand tracking research company. And they take a sample of our target audience. And they ask them, when you think about certifications and designations that people who give financial advice might have, what one comes to mind first? No hints, no clues, nothing. And if they can say CFP or certified financial planner, we count that as unaided awareness. In fact, we count that as top of mind because they said it first. We watch that even more closely. And then we say, well, what other ones do you know? And they might say, so, you know, whatever they do, we keep asking until they can't name any more. Those are all combined, and that counts for unaided awareness. So right now we're sitting at 44% when we ask the question that way. Then we show people CPA, PFS, CFA, CFP, CHFC, CLU. We give these other designations and we ask them, have you heard of CFA? Yes or no? That's aided awareness. When you add unaided awareness plus aided awareness, you get total awareness. And that was the 91% number that, that we got. So thank you so much for asking that question, Jake. All right. Matt, we'll give you this one. Both are not, we had 3 people, Anne and Linda and David, each asked for more information on our retired status.
Great question. And it's a question that we get quite often when we're out on the road as well. CFP Board has a CFP Board Emeritus membership program for individuals who've held the CFP certification for at least 25 years, but who are no longer practicing in financial services. This program includes a reduced fee and no CE requirements. You can learn more about that program at CFP on CFP's website, which is cfp.net/emeritus.
You know, we're getting a number of comments about the Competency Commission. Stephen says, I think if anything, the coursework should be more stringent, right? So everybody has an opinion. I have a feeling that whatever the board decides, there'll be people who will applaud it and those who may have questions about Stephen. Thank you. Again, back to Matt's point, we really do encourage you when we release the information for comment, we really do encourage you to let us know your opinion. Somebody says, drop the CNN ads. No one is watching. You'll be happy to know, or maybe you won't, that we advertise on Fox News. We advertise on CNBC, MSNBC, CNN, the Golf Channel. You know, we're on a variety of different ads. We won't make any assumptions about your prospective clients, Elliot, and where they might be watching. So we'll do that. I think this next question we got comes from somebody named Kevin, actually. He asked about the metrics for Find Your CFP Professional search on the Let's Make a Plan website. So the public awareness campaign directs people, find your CFP professional at letsmakeaplan.org. But I'll talk a little bit about that, Kevin. We hear from time to time that CFP professionals say they haven't received leads from the site. So I appreciate you asking about this. Now, we do track activity for the Let's Make a Plan website. More than 2 million people visited the site last year, 2 million unique people visited the site, and hundreds of thousands of people search for CFP professionals each year. Look, here's what I would tell you. If you're not getting leads, a couple things. Sometimes you may have flagged your account as not accepting new clients. So we do not serve up your name if somebody searches, if you've done that. What I would encourage you to do, give a call to our stakeholder services team and let them walk you through, make sure you've got all of the settings right so that you're key to show up in the search. Matt, a question for you. Mark asked, how can we engage with CFP Board to be ambassadors for the profession and for financial literacy? Maybe a little bit of details on our CFP Board Ambassadors program.
Yeah, definitely. CFP Board Ambassadors are CFP professionals who serve as representatives of the certification on a voluntary basis. They give local voice to CFP Board's consumer advocacy through media interviews and authoring content for the Let's Make a Plan website that Kevin just mentioned. We accept 5 to 6 new ambassadors each year, and those ambassadors are chosen based on demonstrated leadership skills, passion for the financial planning profession, as well as a commitment to serve CFP Board's mission to serve the public. If you're interested in applying for this program, you can email our public awareness campaign director, Lori Loker, at LLOKER@cfpboard.org. That's LLOKER@cfpboard.org. Applications are accepted and reviewed on a rolling basis throughout the year, and appointments are made twice per year. But the ambassador program is really just one of our many volunteer opportunities at CFP Board. We've got many others out there. So for more information on other ways to get involved, you can visit cfp.net/volunteer.
Matt, thank you so much. Bob asks about the public awareness campaign, surgery. This is your favorite ad. Have we gotten any complaints from the medical association that makes their surgeons look clueless? Well, the answer, Bob, is no, but we appreciate asking the question. Look, we're trying to break through. We're trying to use humor to make a point. And I like the ads. I think they make a good point, but people have different opinions. We have had a couple folks call and complain saying we're making people look silly, but the medical association's not been in touch. Michael asks, what concerns do you have regarding the Corporate Transparency Act? Has CFP Board issued any guidance to CFP professionals that may have been impacted by this requirement? Liz, I'll let you talk about that.
Right, you're gonna give me the technical one.
Yeah, there. Matt and I'll do the fun one. It's about.
Well, it's not about surgery. The Corporate Transparency Act, CTA, if you recall, was passed back in 2021 as part of the National Defense Authorization Act, mouthful there. But you might remember the intent was to help detect and prevent money laundering, financing of terrorism, and other illicit activities through business entities. It requires a registry to be built of who actually owns reporting companies. They call it beneficial owners. So there's a lot of questions in our industry about that. Certainly a lot of independent firms or LLCs or small corporations where there's questions. But there are a variety of exceptions that are available, including for broker dealers, registered investment advisors, and insurance providers. Michael, CFP board, would encourage you and all CFP professionals to consult with anyone internal in your firm on compliance or any attorneys that you work with, just to confirm what you need to do to be in compliance with the law.
Liz, thank you for that. Sherry writes, I'll be commenting on the competency standards as I feel a bachelor's degree is the minimum if a CFP is going to stand shoulder to shoulder with similar fields like public accounting. So Sherry, we appreciate your interest and I'll look forward to getting your feedback. Matt, we'll give you this one. This is from Charles, who writes in, what can we do as volunteers to help our youth overcome financial illiteracy?
Thanks, Charles. Great question about a really important topic. In CFP Board, we're proud to partner with the Foundation for Financial Planning that helps make pro bono opportunities as well as the training and resources available to all CFP professionals. The foundation has a national volunteer opportunity clearinghouse at www.probonoplannermatch.org. You can explore the clearinghouse to find different opportunities that match your interests. Some of those will include financial literacy efforts. I also encourage everyone to visit the pro bono resources section of the CFP Board website at cfp.net/pro bono.
Great. Thank you, Matt. Somebody asking about any commentary on it's quite possibly the perfect job. I think we've talked about that a fair amount. So if you missed the early part of the webinar, it'll be posted online in the next few days. So I'd encourage you to go back and listen to that. Coming down to the end of our questions, if you have any additional questions, please use the question and answer feature. Jason writes, I'm interested in resources available to CFP professionals who are looking to change careers or occupations. Hey, we have a number. I know, Matt, this is one you feel particularly passionate about. Do you want to take that one?
Yeah, there's a couple different things. We have a number of resources on our website at cfp.net/careers. We host a job board that you can search by roles, employers, and locations. You can upload your resume so employers can find you. There's lots of different things. There's also the career studios that I mentioned earlier, where we're pairing people who are interested in changing careers with experienced CFP professionals to walk them through what almost like a day in the life of a financial planner looks like, and helps educate them about those things. So again, you can access webinars, articles, a variety of career-related topics, get more information on that, cfp.net/careers.
And for the job changers, those career studios, they're almost like little mini boot camps. They're 3 consecutive. If you know somebody who's interested, Charles, in becoming a financial planner, watch our website. There are 3 consecutive nights, 1 hour. We started one last night on November 12th. We have continues tonight and tomorrow. We had over 450 people signed up for this career boot camp, if you will. I like boot camp better than maybe than career studios. And so it really is designed to help, as you said, give folks an idea of what it's like. Let me just see one more on the bachelor's degree requirement there. I think we're pretty much to the end of our Q&A. We're just about out of time. Before I wrap up, I'd like to encourage people to connect with me on LinkedIn so that we can continue these conversations. I'd like to thank everybody for being here with us today. I'd like to thank our executive producer, Lynn McNutt at CFP Board. She's our Director of Executive Office and Stakeholder Communications. So thank you very much for that. Matt, final thoughts?
Thanks, Kevin, and thank you just for taking the time to participate in this webinar. Thank you to the entire CFP professional community for your support of CFP Board as well as CFP certification. Liz, any final thoughts?
You know, we're really excited about the milestone achievements this spring and all the CFP initiatives that are advancing the profession. We're grateful to everyone who has shared their time, energy, and feedback for us and in support of these initiatives. So thank you for joining us today.
You know, and our Director of Examinations just sent me an email this morning. We had this year with this November exam window, total in 2024, 10,400 people sit for the CFP exam. That's a record number, likely quite possibly our best year ever. So with that, thank you all for joining us today. Have a nice day, everybody.